Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena and another Florida Everblades pregame show. We're back for Game 6. I'm Hannah Jo Groves alongside Jake Maurice. Jake, you got to travel with the team to Canada. Welcome back. How was the travel?
Appreciate it. It was a little cold up there in Canada, as you'd expect, but getting things done on the road, getting 2 of 3, bringing the series back here, certainly very nice to do. The Game 5 would have been great to have that one as well, but we're back.
Well, so let's get into it. Any of the fans that maybe weren't able to keep up, can you give us a brief summary of the series thus far?
Yeah, so we know games 1 and 2 here were frustrating. Game 3 looked like it was going to be like that, but then the Blades sparked a huge third period comeback, 4 goals to get the win in regulation, 4-2. Dominate Game 4 with a 4-0 shutout win by Cam Johnson. Game 5 the next day, not a lot of turnaround time. Blades looked a little gassed, had a chance to steal it away, but gave up a crucial goal early in the third period and ended up on the wrong side of that one. So now we're trailing the series 3-2. Our backs are up against the wall.
Yes.
No mistakes available, no second chance, anything like that. Got to get it done tonight to force Game 7 tomorrow.
Yes, we're in a must-win situation. Okay, so let's go back to Game 3. Huge comeback, like you said, in the third period, able to get 4 goals and get that win. It was a huge morale boost. What did you see as the shift in that third period for the Blades to get on top?
It was really that first goal by Carson Gasevich on the power play. It really settled the group. They got one by Kavalin, who at that point had stopped something absurd, like 83 of 84 shots.
Yeah.
They finally get one by him. They get their power play to get the goal, and then they put on just a furious push. Took a while, but they tie the game late, get another power play right after that, and score again to get it done in regulation, which, you know, that's very nice to not have to go into overtime. We got our fill of that in round 1.
Yeah.
So it was good to get that done. And then Game 4 was a dominant performance that got set up by that third period in Game 3.
And so besides that morale boost, what else was really firing on all cylinders there?
Power play got really well moving up in Canada. 5 goals over the last 3 games has gotten that moving. Yes, it has. And it's not just one unit or one guy who's carrying it. It's both units have come through in big situations for the team. Goaltending has been great. Cam Johnson.
Yes.
I mean, he was just fine in the games here, but he was better in Canada, like the whole team in front of him, which really helped.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think you just got to look overall at the team's ability to shoot the puck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, up until the third period of Game 4, Florida was heavily outshooting the Lions the entire series.
Right.
Florida Everblades only outshot the Blades in Game 4 because of the third when they were trying to just make a miracle happen and come back from down 4-0. So it wasn't really – the Blades had no pressure to shoot, so they weren't.
Right.
And then Game 5, as I said, the Blades, they didn't really have their legs under them. It wasn't Florida's best, unfortunately. The quick turnaround played a huge factor, but that was also for the Lions. And then, unfortunately, they got the crucial goal and won.
Can you tell us how quick that turnover was?
Yeah, so it was about, I don't know the exact time, but it was less than 20 hours between the end of Game 4 and the start of Game 5.
After having won 2 games, one of them in a huge comeback fashion.
Well, even regardless of the result, that's just so fast for playoff hockey with how intense it is, how physical. The ending of Game 4 had quite a lot of extra stuff, including a Kyle Neuber fight, right? So there was quite a bit going into that game already that had been taken out from Game 4 from both sides, and then it was just a matter of when you're going into a game like that, like tonight similarly, with how much it means, how quick the turnaround is, and what's at stake, and what was at the time a tied series, getting that first goal is always so important, and the Lions ended up getting it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, you did say, though, we're up against the wall. It's a must-win situation. In order to get to Game 7 and then to keep moving through to the Kelly Cup Finals, we have to win tonight. So let's get into the direct effect marketing. 3 keys of the game. What do we got to do?
Well, getting the first goal would go a long way. I mean, Trois Rivières is great at that. They've scored first in 13 of 15 playoff games, 4 of 5 in this series, so they're quite good at striking first. But we saw in Game 4, when Florida gets the first goal, they can get rolling in just the same way. So getting that tonight would be very nice.
Huge.
Second off, the special teams showed up in a big way all throughout the series. Game 3, it was Florida's power play that came through, got 2 huge goals to get this comeback started, and then get the game-winning goal from Colton Hargrove.
Oh, yeah.
Game 4, it gets a pair of goals to help in that 4-0 win, and it's looking good again. And then in Game 5, it was actually the Lions' power play unit that came through early in the third period, scored the important marker, and then they got the game winner off of that. So the special teams are going to be very important, not just the power play, but the penalty kill as well has got to be strong. And then finally, I mean, we're at home. That's the biggest benefit we have right now. We're back on home ice.
For sure.
We got our fans in the building tonight. They've got to be cheering as loudly as they ever have with their team facing elimination tonight. They need the fans to be at their best, and then they need to use that all night.
Absolutely. And you did mention Kyle Neuber got in that. What would you call that?
As he does.
Yeah,
as
well,
he
you
does.
know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But I noticed in that Game 5 there wasn't as much. Is that to both the teams being focused and just wanting to get it done? What did you see there?
It was focused. It was discipline, right? You can't, as we saw with how important the power plays were, taking a bad penalty at a bad time, that can end the Blade season tonight. And if you're the Lions, they want to get this done, right? They don't want to have to come back here for Game 7 tomorrow.
Yes.
So
you think it'll be...
I think, especially as long as it's a close game, it's going to be both teams are going to be hammering in discipline to their guys to make sure that it is...
Okay.
No one wants their season to end on a bad penalty, right? So it's going to be...
But if it's not as close...
Maybe it could get a little bit,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
We'll see.
All right, Blades fans, well, let's take a deep breath all together, enjoy some warm-ups, and then it'll be Game 6 between the Trois Rivières Lions and your Florida Everblades. We cannot wait.